Hello, everybody, and welcome to day one of Magnetic Confidence. If you are just watching the recording, please know that right before I hit the record button, I have a dance. In fact, those that want to join me also have a dance. The thing is that I can't record it because of copyright for the Zoom and for the YouTube. But if you come here live, you will actually get to dance, which might be a deterrent for some of you, and it might be an invitation for others. Have I met everybody? My name is Linaria Guy. How do we know each other? Pop it in the chat box. How do we know each other? And what's your vibe for this evening? Like, how are you feeling? And remember that all of you is welcome here. I want to remind you of that. If you're grumpy, I want to hear about it. If you're excited and nervous, I want to hear about it. If you couldn't be bothered, but you're here anyway, I want to hear about it. When I say to you, all of you is welcome, I've got a few clients in the room as well. When I say all of you is welcome, I mean it. I wholeheartedly mean it, because it is the denial of who we are and all of our messy, complicated layers that actually limits our confidence. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear how we know each other and what's going on for you. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure everybody is muted. If you notice that you're not muted, just go ahead and mute yourself. If you don't know how to do that, let me know. So Kat, I think that I'm, for some reason, unable to mute you, which is a bit random. Ah, yes, glorious. It is such a delight to be here. What do we got here? Ooh, Facebook. Seven Sisters Festival, Bronwyn, I love it. Dedicated Gypsy is scared but having fun. Yeah, who else is a little bit scared? Who's got a level of, like, by show of hands, if you're on the camera, who's a little bit intimidated by what's about to happen? Who's feeling like, what have I got myself into? What is this all about? I want you to know that you're not alone. You can see how many people got their hands up of like, I don't know what I'm about to do here. I don't really know what I signed up for. For those of you who have worked with me before in some way, shape, or form, just go ahead and pop your hand up so I can see you all there. And let me know, does it need to be scary? A yes, a maybe, a no. It doesn't need to be scary. But you know what? It's also okay that it is, because all of you is welcome. Yeah, I'll say it again and again and again. Over the next 5 days, you're going to hear me repeat that till it's embedded in your brain and my voice becomes your voice, where all of you is welcome. Rachel's looking forward to connecting with others. Jessica found me on the socials. Cass, your Facebook page. Feeling good, really need this, from Teresa. Penny Kemp was in my course of Body Confidence Kickstarter. Ali came to Babes' Boundaries. These are other courses that I've run throughout the time. Lisa's been on Team Gorgeous. So excited to be here. Thank you. I love it. Susan says on Facebook and follow me on Insta for a while. Zara's feeling shitty tonight. Shout out to everybody who's like, saying what you feel. Zara's also been in my other courses before. Red says, can't bloody wait to hear everything you have to say. Fabulous. Renee said, found me by accident on a podcast a few months ago, and love your podcast. Who listens to my podcast here? Who is now going to be listening to the podcast now that they've discovered it's there? Yeah, figured as much. That is a thing. Tamara's on a goddess weekend, is tired but needed this. Matt on the socials, Facebook, my book. Who has read or has my book? You don't have to have read it, but who has read it? Who has it? Who has listened to it on Audible, for those who love listening? Who's going to go out and get it now? Same deal, like, oh, it's on Audible. I did narrate it as well, by the way. Naomi, Seven Sisters Festival. Carly's excited. Still up. Sonia's awake here in New Zealand, a couple of hours ahead. Facebook. Lisa's ready to start showing up more. I love that. Who's ready to start showing up more? Who maybe knows that they want to show up more, but don't really know that if they can do that? To Marina, I got you there. It was like this, like, I think that maybe I want to show up more, but I'm actually scared. So kudos to you. The reason I keep doing this, my sisters, is to unite us. Because what I know more than anything is that you are not alone. I know you're not alone. I know you're not alone because deep within my being, I remember being where you are. I really do. Now, I may come across as really confident. And in fact, if you knew me 15, 20 years ago, you would think that I was really confident, because I was really good at a thing called fake it till you make it. Who here is good at fake it till you make it? Who has heard that and has done that? Some of you are like, no, I've sucked at the faking thing. I can't. Others of you are like, yeah, I'm super good at that. Who is tired of pretending either way? Either way, you're tired of pretending. Either way, you do not want to have to keep being someone else in order to feel worthy. Yeah, that's why I'm going to keep bringing us together, because I know you're not alone. I know you're not alone from the other women that are in the group. And I know you're not alone because I've been where you are. I've experienced negative self-talk, self-doubt, hating myself, thinking that I needed to change my body in order to be confident, wishing that I looked different so that I could wear certain clothes and be a certain way. I've been where you are, where I feel like this negativity up inside of my head is so damaging that I didn't want to be here on the planet anymore. And I know a few of you are relating to that right now. That this is so all-consuming that you just wish you could get out of your own head. And maybe in a lot of ways you are. Maybe you're drinking, maybe you're shopping, maybe you're in lots of relationships, maybe you are obsessed with work, maybe you are getting caught up in drama, other people's drama, maybe you're scrolling incessantly or watching incessantly. Whatever you're doing to numb yourself right now, I see you, and I've done them all myself. Loud and clear over here. Yeah. A few more people are just, Cass is feeling a little unsure. I love that Becca found me by happy accident. Tamara just quit my life-sucking job and looking forward to my next life journey. Yes to that. Well done, you. Lots of people see me on Facebook. You're ready to grow, nervous but ready. Yeah, Anna, Marina introduced me to you, and I follow you on all the socials now. Thank you. Please feel welcome to share the love. Look, I love that, Marina and Jana. You're on my screen, you are 2 people apart on my little screen. So it's like, if Marina looks to her left and Anna looks to her right, you'll be looking at each other. Other way, Marina, but right way, Anna. Yeah, you're looking at each other. That was cute. That was totally cute. Renee is nervous and excited. Janice had a teary day today with bad news delivered badly. I'm seeing you and I'm sending you love. Gathering of the Goddess Instagram. There's excitement and there's tiring. Benisa came from Babes with Boundaries. You've missed my happy voice. I missed you too, Benisa. Yeah, Rachel says I might end up signing a little. Use Zoom for Auslan. Cool. So if anybody wants some signing, go ahead, Rachel. Love that. Love that. Kerry found me at Seven Sisters Festival. We've got Facebook. All the things. I'm loving this. With naps on couches, feeling a bit nervous. There's breakups. There's TikTok. There's books. All sorts of reasons. Podcast. Just search More Confidence with Luna Gaia, Maddie. More Confidence with Luna Gaia, and you will find that. It's on Spotify. It's on all the places. If somebody can write that in the chat box, that would be amazing. Yeah, tomorrow's feeling kind of alone. I see you. I witness you in that, and I've got you. Yeah. Becca says, others see my confidence, but I don't see or feel. Ooh, who can relate to that? And not all of you are going to, and that's okay. Do other people go, oh, I'd be confident if I looked like you. I'd be confident if I had your job. I'd be confident if you something. Insert you here. Yeah. Yeah. Michelle says, so bad at pretending it comes out as arrogance. You've hit a nail on the head there, because arrogance is just the symptom of low self-esteem. Anybody who's arrogant, it's not the same as confidence. It's really not. Arrogance is a front to say, I'm actually afraid that you won't like me, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm better than everybody else. Yeah, rather than less than. Yeah. I love you all so, so much. I'm excited. I'm Luna. I met me over my lifetime. I continue to meet me. I'm just going to answer the question that I asked you all here. And you know, for me, how I'm feeling tonight is actually really humbled. There's 57 of you live here on the call. There's about another 100 that are going to watch this call on recording. And the fact that you trust me with 5 days to hang out with you, even just if it's these 5 minutes that we are hanging out with right now, I take that job really seriously. And my intention over the next 5 days is to really give you a whole bunch of immense value so that you can really have tools to take yourself to the next level of confidence, to feel magnetic in that. And I know that for some of you, it feels really, really far away. Who feels like magnetic confidence and rocking out and being like this feels really far away right now? Who feels like it's a little bit closer? Yeah, for some of you, because we're all going to have different experiences. And the tools that I'm going to teach you here over these next 5 days can be used across the board. And I know this because I continue to use them today. This is not something that I discovered and then go, oh, I don't need that anymore. These are tried and tested foundations of confidence that when you practice them on a regular basis, which means that you will get better at them, then over time, your confidence will build and build and build and build and build. Who wants some of that? Can I go like this? Maybe this is, what is clapping? Rachel, this is clapping, right? I think Rachel would tell us. I can't see it on my screen right now, but I think this is clapping in Auslan, I believe. You might be able to tell me there. Thanks, Deb, for putting that. I appreciate it. Yes. Loving you all so, so very much. Let's do a thing. Let's have a think about this for a second, about why we are here. I know a few of you have put it in your journal prompt, like in the prompts that I did the other day, about why you're here. And really, if I could sum it up, and I've read a whole bunch of your intentions. Some people have sent me through intentions, which is fabulous. Thank you so, so very much. Some of you have posted on the group. And for a lot of you, I already know the big reasons why you're here, because there's insecurity, there's self-doubt, there's negative self-talk, you're holding yourself back. There's potentially some body shame going on. Who feels as though they're not particularly confident in their body as well? Who are can relate to that. Penny's like, I just did body confidence Kickstarter, girl. I'm done. I'm sorted. You're here because there's a lack of self-love. You're probably also a bit of a people pleaser. Who puts everybody else's needs before your own? Oh, Marina's like, oh, yes. Yeah. It kind of comes with the territory of low self-esteem. You've got this big, beautiful heart and you have so much to give. And I want you to know that throughout the course of this, you becoming more confident doesn't mean you become less of an open-hearted, giving individual. But it does mean that you have more boundaries. It does mean that you set clearer lines. It does mean that you're not doing things to the detriment of yourself. That's what that means. And really, your feeling in a way is this all there is. There's a sense of disconnectedness from yourself. If you've ever felt connected with yourself, you don't even necessarily know who that is because you've been spending a lifetime pretending to be somebody that you're not. And really at the crux of all of this, is that you're not truly living. You want to feel alive, right? You want to feel like you can go out into the world and do the things and be the things and experience the things that you want to in your life, right? Can I get some thumbs up? Can I get some hands? If you're relating to this, let me know. Pop it in the chat box. Say yes, hells yes, if you're relating to any of this. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe some of those things don't apply to you overly. Some of them maybe more than others. But we're here because what we really want is confidence. You want to feel secure in yourself, right? You want to believe in yourselves. To not let that negative self-talk and the self-doubt be the thing that stops you every day in your life. Maybe this language is really strong, but you want to stop hating yourself, right? And maybe for a few of you, who's got kids in the room? Anyone here has got kids? Yeah, so there's a few of you, not heaps. There's a few of you there, but you want to be a good role model. So those kids, who wants kids? Who haven't yet had them? Yeah. So some of you, yes, some of you know, some of you might have a tricky relationship with that in terms of not being able to, and I see you in that. Yeah. But you want to be a good role model for those in your life. Maybe it's nieces or nephews or actually people that you just come across. You want to really live. Who here wants to stop the internal battle? Who here wishes that this could stop being an absolute battleground and actually have some peace? Preach it. You want to be free ultimately, right? You want to be liberated, which is exactly what we're here for. What else? Is there anything that I haven't mentioned as to why you're here in terms of what you want that I haven't mentioned? Pop it in the chat box. I love this, Lisa. I'm a naughty auntie to a few blessings. It's a great way to put it. Meg, yes, my head needs to shut the fuck up. I want to be free like you, to enjoy life, to stop the mind chatter, learning to love myself. Stop the battlefield. Don't want to feel guilty. Develop the new improved version of me. Yes, and to finally step into your truth, right? As Jana says, to live for me. Oh, absolutely beautiful. That is what we came here to do. But really, how did we get here? When you reflect upon how you got here, not necessarily into this room today and how you met me, but how did we get to a place where we don't believe in ourselves? How do we get to a place where our negative self-talk is so consuming that it limits our experience of life? This very life that kind of even irrelevant of your beliefs, you only get one shot at being you this time around. Even if you believe in reincarnation, even if you believe that you're going to come back in different iterations, right now, you, Rachel, Marina, Renee, Tamara, Red, you only get one shot at being you in this iteration, in this lifetime. And I don't know if you've noticed this at all, but time seems to be speeding up the older we get. Have you noticed that? That the runway that's in front of you becomes a hell of a lot shorter than the runway that was behind you. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm not saying that so you can freak out and go, oh my God, I'm running out of time. I say that to you so that you relish this beautiful gift that you have, which is now. You have today. Right now, my sisters, you are alive. You're alive. You're breathing. You are here. And in this very moment, you have another beautiful opportunity. You have an opportunity to live properly, to come alive and actually enjoy your life. Because when you get to the end of your life, when you project out, and because newsflash for you, babes, no one gets out of here alive. At the end, that's what's happening. We already know that. At the end of your life, do you want to look back on a life that says, I was scared all the time? I held myself back all the time. That was really a huge catalyst for me. Really. People have often asked me when I've been interviewed on podcasts and stuff, what was the moment that you knew that you had to stop living in this kind of realm of lacking of confidence, in this self-hate and this self-doubt? And the answer isn't an easy one necessarily, in the sense that I don't necessarily think that one thing changed everything and I was self-doubting myself and then one day I wasn't anymore. Because I believe that practice makes progress. Some of you went to go say perfect in your head. I wrote a book called Perfectly Imperfect for a reason. If we strive for perfection, we never get there. But if we strive for progress, we get there every single day. And so I know within myself that the journey wasn't all of a sudden one day. You know, it won't happen overnight, but it will happen. It's that kind of vibe. But I know for myself that the real catalyst for me is when I was 26, 27, my 28-year-old brother died suddenly. And this was probably what we're looking at, maybe 12 years ago now. And I was in a bad place. I was very secretly in the depths of my bulimia, for those of you who may or might not know my story. I was in a lot of pain. I was drinking heavily. I'd binge and purge watching America's Next Top Model and then go to a boot camp the next day, empty because I'd vomited up all the food the night before. And I'd been spending years, decades even, hating myself, drinking myself into stupors. On the outside, I looked happy. Oh my God, I looked happy. On the outside, I had everything on the outside, but on the inside, I was deep in pain. On the inside, it hurt. On the inside, I felt like a fraud and that I was just waiting to be found out. And when my brother so suddenly died in my world, my older brother, to whom I was incredibly close with, and he was my world, my rock, my safety, everything started to unravel. And over a period of time, I'd already enrolled to become a life coach not long before that, about 12 months before my brother died, 8 months before he died. I'd already enrolled in that. So I was already moving in the direction of my dreams. But that was the catalyst of like, Luna, you might not get old. You might not. None of us might not have the privilege of age. And throughout a period of that time really shook me to my core around what I believed to be true, which is what we're going to talk about this evening, specifically around our beliefs. What I found for myself is that if nothing changed, then nothing was going to change. So I implore you to really dive deep into this training over the next 5 days. And I actually applaud you as well. Because to show up to this training, I know many of you are scared. Many of you are going, I don't know what I'm doing here. This is where it begins. I know you've done lots of work already. You've done courses, you've done programs, some of them with me. I know you've been doing the work. For some of you, you've been doing lots. For others, maybe this is the beginning of the journey. But the fact that you continue to show up tells me what kind of person you are. Somebody who looks at the current life circumstances and the current way of their being and says, you know what? I'm sick and tired of thinking that I'm not enough, and I want to do something about that. And that takes a hell of a lot of courage. So really, everybody give yourself an applause. Everybody go ahead and give yourself a beautiful applause. In fact, do this. Turn your hands this way. Make them a little bit like this, and give yourself a pat on the back. Yes, I know you might go, that's a bit weird. That's a bit whatever, but we're literally training your body. We are training your mind to do it differently than what you've done. Because if we kind of forward pace this out to 10 years from now, you all know how old you are. You all know how long you've been experiencing and suffering in this low confidence. If we future pace 10 years from now, what will your life look like? Just think about it for yourself. Is it better? Is it worse? Is it the same? In fact, I think that if you continue going down this path, and that was the realization that I had, that things don't stay the same. Things would only get worse. I'd have more doubt, less confidence, more depression, more anxiety, less wellness, more illness. I would find myself in a space where it was only going to get worse. And I realized that I wanted to do something different. Because that's what happens when we don't change it, right? When we don't change it, what ends up happening is all of those things. We really need to be able to do something about this. And you know what? I want you to know that it's doable. You can do something about this. You are here doing something about this. And this is just a taster this week that we have together. I'm going to give as much as I possibly can over the 3 lives that we have in the journal prompts. But of course, to be able to really make lasting change, more time, more effort, more energy is going to go into that. So I encourage you to keep up the work outside of this container as well. Invest in other things, do different things with your confidence. Make yourself a lifelong learner, because that's what I do. I don't believe that we ever get to a point in our relationship with ourselves whereby we're done. Can you imagine if you had that experience with your partner? Whether you're partnered or not, imagine if you had a partner and you go, okay, cool, I love you, you're amazing, our relationship is great, done. I never have to work on that relationship again, sorted. Good luck being in a happy relationship with that person for much longer. Because relationships are something that's built over time. They take time and they take continuous effort. And you are in the most important relationship that you're ever going to be with. You're in a relationship with you 24/7, 365 for the rest of your damn life. Good luck getting away from you, because wherever you go, there you are. You can try different relationships, different jobs. You can do all the scrolling and the shopping and the drinking and the caffeine and the drama. You can do all the watching that you want, but there you are. You can travel the world and you'll still be there, damn it. You can't get away from you. And if you're not having an absolute killer, amazing, phenomenally connected relationship with you, then your quality of life becomes drastically reduced and will continue to. If you don't take anything else from these next 5 days together, please, I implore you to write this down. Have an amazing relationship with yourself. That's what this entire game is about. You building your confidence is not so you can like cruise around sweating your boobs off, by the way. You should see what's going on under here. It's very warm. It's not about being able to cruise around dancing your ass off and wearing a bikini, although they're cool side effects of that. But what it's really about is being able to make peace with you and having a fabulous relationship within you where you have your own back, where you are lovingly supported, where you can trust you fully so you can experience life with the love of your life, you. Who wants that? Who wants to have a killer relationship with themselves? Yes, I encourage you to commit to that. I really do, really encourage you to commit to that big time. Because hating yourself and always pretending is where I was. It's where I was for a really, really long time. And I started to challenge the beliefs that I have around the world. Some of them, a whole bunch of them, societal views. Who thinks that society and the media has something to do with how you feel about yourself? Who could think that that's, yeah, right? And who thinks that maybe it's generational, that the way that you're, pressed the wrong button. That who thinks that maybe it's generational, that you learned from your mom, or you learned from your grandmas, or you learned from other women in your society, even your fathers, your parents, right? I grew up as the youngest of 5 with 4 older brothers, and women were not considered. Actually, that's a sentence. That's the end of the sentence. Women were not considered. That's a full stop. And I was a girl, so therefore I was less than. That's how it rolled. And what walks in mothers runs in daughters. My mum didn't believe in herself. My mum had terrible self-esteem. She had fake it till make it. So what did I learn? Exactly how to do that. I just felt like I was living a lie in some way and really wanted to make a difference. Make a difference to me so I could actually enjoy my life while I still had it. This is not about really driving in the fact that you're going to die. I also just want you to know that this life that you're living right now, like 1 in 6 trillion chance of you being born. I know there's 7 billion of us, and that might seem like a lot, right? And like, well, not particularly miracles, but you know, like you were just a headache away from not being born. You do realize that, right? Not tonight, honey. Right? That's all it was. That's all it was. It's a split second of a moment, and then you were created. Anything that would have happened, it wouldn't have been you. It would have been a different DNA structure or whatever. It wouldn't have been you. You get to be here, my sisters, and it's too much. It has been too long for you to hold yourself back. It is time to ignite your magnetic confidence. It really is. I've got a lot going on in the chat. I want to see what is happening here. Yeah, Robin says, I want to feel free to trust myself and others. Stop that shitting self-talk. We are going to talk about that on Wednesday specifically, Kaz. So make sure you come to that live one. Deb wants to stop sabotaging yourself. Yes. Yeah, Paula. Do you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be? I reckon everybody got to write that down because that is gold. I'm seeing a few head shakes. Like, no, I don't. I don't remember who that is. Because it's likely that you were a baby. Honestly. Your parents projected onto you, you project onto your children. That's how it works. And we're going to actually delve into that today about how we came to create our map of reality. Tamara wants to find and live my truth. Yes to that. Ali is disconnected from life and the world is very small. Kerry, I want to stop talking myself out of living. Amen. Preach to that. Melissa would love to stop feeling ashamed all the time, like I'm doing everything wrong. I feel you in that, Melissa. I see you. Lisa, I want to sing, dance publicly and not hold myself back because I'm so good at singer-songwriting. Yes, we want to hear it, Lisa. Yes. I'm so excited for that. Yeah, Eva says sometimes health issues come into play. Absolutely. There are circumstances in our life that hold us back from living, right? There are sometimes genuine things that do hold us back from living entirely the life that we want to. And at the same time, we can still make different choices within those confines. Most definitely. Meg says I need to soften boundaries or at least feel less guilty about conversations. Yeah. Lisa, I'm a healer and I want so much to reach people and help them, and that takes gumption and confidence. Who here wants to make a difference? Who here feels like they want to make an impact in the world more so than what they are right now? Just to get a bit of a read, there's no right or wrong here. I just want to kind of touch base and see how many healers or kind of light workies or influencers that we might have in the room. Yeah, a whole bunch of you. A whole bunch of you. Now, as they say on the plane, please affix your own face mask before helping others. You got to do this for you. If you have some inclination that you want to help people, if you want to make this world a better place, you have to affix your own face mask. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you need to be healed. Let me just make this really clear. You don't need to be healed. You don't need to be sold. You don't need to have everything figured out before you go help people. But you do need to be doing the work. You do need to be conscious and deliberately going out and making sure that you build a kick-ass relationship with yourself. Because helping the world is about building beautiful relationships. And if you can't do it with the person that you live with 24/7, it becomes quite difficult to do it with others. Yeah. Yeah. Tamara says, live the life I've imagined all my life and acknowledge need to be and work to improve that. Beautiful. Yeah. And Sonny says, all of the above. You need to start giving the hoot and toot about me. Yes. I love the hoot and toot. Yeah. Lisa brings up something important here. It does something to my nervous system, though. Who gets a little bit like, oh my God, I'm going to put myself first. I'm going to be more confident. Who kind of feels that? Yeah. We're going to be talking a little bit over the course of the next few days about our identity and how our identity, when we have been told who we need to be, and we believe that over a period of time, which we'll talk about tonight, we end up becoming very attached to, oh no, but I can't. I'm not the type of person who, I couldn't possibly do that. People like me don't do that. Yeah. So many of you want to stop the negative self-talk. Yeah, and there's lots going on here. And I see you all. I see you all here. Becca, with the loss of your brother. Yeah, Karen reckons she'll be in a nursing home in 10 years' time. Well, you know what? You are going to be the most confident, amazing, kick-ass friggin' nursing home participant, Karen. You're going to be running like life coaching courses, telling all the oldies how to age gracefully. That's what's going to happen, Karen. I'm hearing for you. Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Yeah, Zara, my mum is still constantly starving herself at 72. Yeah. Oh, sisters, we know what could happen if we don't make the changes, right? But we're here to do something different about it. Yeah, we know what will happen if we don't change it. And we know what's to come, Who do we need to be to become that change? Really, you might want to write these down. We want to fear less. This is not about being fearless in the sense of you don't have any fear, right? It's about fearing less and not being the commander of your life, the control of your life, right? It's about fear not being in charge. We're not going to have time to get to fear in these 3 days, but there are other programs that you can think about investing in that will absolutely deal with fear. We're really going to start here with the basics tonight. This is about our minds. So in order to become this change, we need to become the commander of our mind so that the negativity doesn't get in the way of becoming everything we've always wanted, of doing everything that we've always wanted. You don't have to have big grand plans either. It doesn't have to be, I want to change the world. It could be just like, I want to knit, but I'm afraid of what people will think of my knitting. Yeah, that's as big of a deal as it is to change the world. I want to see you. I see you in every single layer of how the lack of confidence impacts you. We have to be the commander of our mind. We have to fear less. We have to become emotionally literate. Now, I know a whole bunch of you think that you have really good high EQ, that you are really good at gauging other people's emotions, but are you really good at processing and dealing with your own? And for most of us, we suck at it because no one ever showed us how, right? That's another component of the Inspire Your Confidence program, which I'm going to talk about later. We need to be comfortable in our skin, right? We want to be able to be within our bodies because this is the vessel to get us the things that we want in our life. We want to become really effective communicators because when we're an effective communicator, we set solid boundaries. We have more confidence because we can be assertive. You want to trust yourself. Who here would like to trust themselves a hell of a lot more and be self-led? Yes. We need to be courageous in that because to live the life of your dreams is not for the faint-hearted. And in a world that profits from self-hate, self-love and confidence is an act of rebellion. We're actually going outside of the norm. We're going outside of what is socially acceptable. So courage and the ability to follow our hearts is a really big deal. And finally, we need to connect to our higher selves. Today, what I'm asking you to do, and I'm going to get you to do this, write it down in your journals, is to give yourself permission to step into your most confident self. So right now, I want everybody to write themselves a permission slip on a fresh bit of paper and write a permission slip. You know what the deal is. I mean, I haven't been to school for a very, very long time, but it's that kind of permission, right? Dear Sir, Madam, whatever it is, dear universe, I hereby give permission for Tamara Dennett to step into her most confident self. Signed, Tamara Dennett. Yeah? And that might seem a little bit something, right? Is that a thing? This is all about stacking the moments where you can believe in yourselves, giving yourself permission. And once you've written it down, I want you to read it out loud to yourself. Everybody ought to be on mute, or we're about to find out. We're about to find out, but I want you to say it out loud to yourself. Literally say it out loud to yourself. Yeah. And then say your name. I can see you all doing the thing. So say it out loud. Yes. I, Lenaria Gaia, give myself permission to step into my most confident self. And just feel that in your body for a moment. Maybe straighten your shoulders up a little bit higher. Maybe take a breath in through your belly. I, Lenaria Gaia, give myself permission to step into my most confident self. Now. Add a now to the end of that. Feel it in your body. Feel what that feels like to give yourself permission, just as you are in charge of your life. You're grown-ass women, just in case you didn't notice. Just in case you didn't notice, you, as the beings that are females in this world, have the ability to create a life. You're the most magical mother freaking creatures on this planet. You have the power. You get to decide. And in this process of confidence, in this process of stepping into your most confident self, you're going to need to choose your power again and again and again. I even recommend writing that on your mirror, writing on a sheet of paper, having it on an alarm on your phone, as many places as you can see this image, see this permission slip that you've given yourself, and the amount of times that you can say it to yourself out loud. We're literally rewiring all the patterns that you learned as a child that told you that you couldn't. Yeah. Oh, everyone take a nice big deep breath in. We go in and out on the exhale. Oh, yeah, Penny knows what's coming. You've been in my container before. We're going to go in. Exhale with some sound. I know it's going to be a bit weird, but you can, even if it's not. Oh, and then we're going to do it one more time, and you're going to shake your body a little bit. We're going to go in. Oh, yes, even if it's wiggling your toes or your fingers, this is going into our body. Get it into our body. Denise, I'm not sure if your hand is raised for a question. Pop it in the chat box. Brilliant. That would be brilliant. We'll do some Q&A at the end once we've got to it. So if it is a question that can't go in the chat box, then just hold out and we will get to it very, very soon. You've now all given yourself permission. And what's to come here? I want to remind you that all of you is welcome in this game. The 5 days that we spent together. And in fact, this whole confidence community that's been born through this challenge, you'll continue to be a part of as much as you want to, right? So every challenge that comes along, you're already there, you'll be ready to rock on. And I'm going to be there in that group. And I will continue to tell you that all of you is welcome at all times. Yeah. Play full out. The more that you show up energetically to this container, the more you're going to make out of it, right? The more you're going to get out of it. So make a commitment to play full out. Again, you've given yourself permission, maybe write it down. Maybe write down what that looks like for you if you were to play full out in this container. Yeah. And trust the process. There are going to be times that are challenging. There are going to be times that might be intimidating. There might be wonderful times and joyful breakthroughs that you'll experience. Just roll with the punches and trust that the process that's unfolding, right? Nobody said it was going to be easy, right? I also appreciate that no one said it was going to be this hard, right? That it's going to be hard at times. And that's part of the unfolding. Think about everything that's ever been brought to life. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, my sisters, and that's why they're not here. But you are. And you'd have the tenacity, and you've got my support, and you've got the support of the sisterhood here as well. Yeah. Everything is unfolding exactly as it needs to. And what I highly recommend that you do throughout the course of this, and I know that we've been already talking for 45 minutes or so, is write notes like you're going to teach it. Whether or not you ever look at the notes again doesn't actually matter. Scientifically, they've proven that when you take notes and you take pen to paper, quite literally, I can see a whole bunch of you already doing it. It's fantastic. You're more likely to remember what's there because you're making a physical connection. Even if that's typing, there's a physical connection with that, right? You'll bring it into your body because how many of you have done courses and known stuff and you know a bunch of this stuff intellectually? How many of you know stuff intellectually, but you don't feel it? It's got to be in your body in order for it to. So trust the process. Yeah. There are 8, kind of the 8-fold path to confidence and self-love. This is the foundations of what I teach across the board with it, whether that's not in my books, in my larger courses. There are 8 really strong components here. So the first one is our beliefs, which is what we're going to look into tonight. Then we have our thoughts. We have our emotions, followed by our communication, our ability to be able to communicate and set boundaries. Of course, we then have our body image, because that plays a huge part in our confidence and our self-love. We have our trust within ourselves and with others. We have courage, our courage to be able to believe in ourselves. And then finally, we have our connection with our higher self. Now, when you look at that, you might sit there and go, that's a lot. And it is. And we're not going to be talking about all of this over the next 5 days. There's no way I could possibly. I would have to talk from sunrise to sunset and then some in order to get through everything that I've learned and that I teach over the last, over the last 12 years that I've been in this industry and doing this work. So, there's other opportunities for you to join in terms of inspire your confidence. But today, over the next 5 days, we are really going to be looking at your beliefs and your thoughts. Because when you skip these things, when your beliefs and your thoughts, you end up sabotaging yourself, right? Who's done this before? I'm going to make myself do the thing. And maybe you work on something else and then you realize that you're sabotaging yourself. Yeah. Your beliefs and your thoughts are the foundation of all of the work of our confidence. If we get the mindset right, success is 80% psychology. Yeah, it's 80% mindset. There's lots of other stuff there, and building upon that in Inspire Your Confidence as well as Elevate Your Confidence, which is other programs that I run. We will work through the other ones, but these 2 core ones are really what we're going to be focusing on. And we've only got, a few hours together really effectively. So we're not going to go into huge detail with them, but what I do give you is well enough for you to be on your way to be able to really make a huge headway in your negative self-talk. Because my sisters, you don't lack confidence because of your circumstances, you lack confidence because of your thoughts and your beliefs. Take a photo of that, write it down, do what you got to do. The reason you are lacking in confidence is because of what's going on up in your head. And if you can learn, which is what I'm going to teach you on how to deal with what's in your head, then the confidence is a natural consequence of that. Becoming a commander of your mind. Yeah. Michelle said, can you repeat it? I don't know what I was meant. I'm maybe a little bit late on that. Can someone help her out with that? I don't remember what it was. That happens sometimes. Has everybody got, have everybody written that down or got a photo of it, whatever you need? Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Beliefs and thoughts, my loves, when left untrained, they will become the ruler of your life. The question is, are they working for your benefit or are they working against you? Quickly pop in the chat box for a second. Are they working, just write benefit or against? Do you think that your thoughts in your mind, your beliefs and your thoughts, do you think they're working against you right now or are they working to your benefit? What would you say? Against, totally against, mostly against, benefit mostly. Love it. Many running against, some to benefit. Yeah, yep, beautiful. Definitely against, starting to be more benefit. Yeah, I'm loving this. There's some shifts in that. Yeah. When we have a look at our beliefs here, a belief, simply put, is a repetitive thought in conjunction with strong emotion coupled with perceived evidence. Let's have a look at it again. It's a repetitive thought. Let's break it down. A belief is a thought repeated in conjunction with powerful emotion. Yes, there's emotion connected to that thought, coupled with perceived evidence. And the reason I've said evidence here in inverted commas, my sisters, is because evidence is a loose term when it comes to the mind. Yeah. Who has ever had a situation where someone snobbed them, right? Like something happened where they're like, you walked past someone and they snubbed you or they didn't text you back and you made a big story in your head as evidence as to why you're unworthy, why they don't like you, and why the relationship is over. Who's done something similar to that you can cross-correlate a little bit, right? Only to find out that their phone was dead, they were having a bad day, that they didn't have their contacts in, they couldn't see you. Who's had that experience of like, oh, that evidence that I thought about that person was, yeah, that wasn't, may have stuffed that one up. Yeah, we have these evidence that we're looking for, and we're going to talk about our focus on Wednesday's call. We have these evidences that we're looking for based on that belief that are very rarely true. Our beliefs are not fact. Write that down. You can write that about your thoughts too. My beliefs and my thoughts are not fact. You believe them, but they're not fact. I'm going to show you how that's true in a moment. Because we all know that our beliefs will change. If there's any little kids' ears in the room that might hear what I'm about to say, it's not rude, it just might shatter a dream. That's all. Once upon a time, most of us believed that there was a big, fat, jolly man in a suit who every year came down a chimney and gave us presents. Maybe you were 3 when you found out that that wasn't true. Maybe you're today years old when you found out that wasn't true. Hate to break it to you. Somewhere along the lines, we had a belief that was fact, that that's how it is. Santa is real. And as we've gotten older, we've discovered that that's not true. We've got different information and we've discovered that that belief isn't necessarily true, right? You have lots of beliefs like this that you've experienced, not just necessarily from childhood, but maybe your belief around science or the government has changed over the last 3 years with everything that happened, right? Maybe you're more invested, maybe you're less invested, maybe you're less suspicious, maybe you're more suspicious. There are things in your life where your beliefs have changed when you have had different information that has come to you. I remember being like a 12-year-old girl thinking that using my mouth on a body part of a man would be the most vile thing I could ever think about. And that's not because I'm bi, not because I was leaning towards women. It's because I thought, gross, who would ever want to do that? Now, again, I give you an example from childhood to adulthood that's drastically changed for me. Fill in the blanks. Tamara, I'm glad you're amused. But, you know, there are beliefs that have changed. And that's a childhood belief, but there are adult beliefs that you've had. Maybe you thought that so-and-so is a really good person. And then as time went on, you're like, oh, yeah, I don't necessarily think that the bad boy is someone that I want to go after anymore. Our beliefs change. Yeah. So being mindful of that is really, really important. I'm loving some beliefs already coming through here. We have a journal exercise that we're going to do in just a moment. Let's have a look at specifically a limiting belief. A limiting belief is one that hinders, limits, slows down, shapes, decreases, holds back, etc. one's ability to go after what they want, right? If you have a belief that is holding you back from something that you want, it is what's known as a limiting belief. It's a limiting belief, yeah? And so part of our journal prompt for tomorrow is going to be to write down your limiting beliefs. So just go ahead, that's giving you a bit of a head start here, is to write down. And you might want to take a photo of this one or write them down. Your limiting beliefs generally start with I can't because, or I'm too much of this, I'm not enough of that. I am, you know, I am old, so therefore. I am young, so therefore. I am not enough. I am not skinny enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not educated enough. People like me don't become rich. People like me don't impact other people. People like me can't be confident. It's not possible because of X, Y, Z. You're going to discover your limited beliefs pretty darn quickly when you do this exercise. I don't deserve it because. Insert whatever limits that you have in your thinking, write about it. And the more depth you can go into this exercise, the better you're going to, the more value you're going to get out of it. Really dive deep into what your limiting beliefs are. Find out what they are, look at them, explore them, connect with them. Because when you find out what your limiting beliefs are, you can take steps to be able to do something about it. Yeah? Has everybody got that written down? Are we cool to carry on? Beautiful. Beautiful. We all have these beliefs, but where do they come from? If you were to look at this map of the world, this kind of creative map of the world, let's actually dive into that more specifically. Let's choose a city in Australia. Let's go with Sydney. And I want you to, using your thumbs up or thumbs down, thumbs middle is I don't know, thumbs up is yes, thumbs down is no. Is a map of Sydney, Sydney? Is a map of Sydney, Sydney? We've got some thumbs up, we've got a I don't know. What have we got here? Is a map of Sydney, Sydney? Okay, yeah, so for the most part, people are going, yeah, maybe it could be a thing, right? When we think about a map of something is simply a representation of it, right? Because I don't know about you, but if you've ever been traveling, you get the tourist map when you arrive, it's not detailed. It has the big tourist spots that it wants you to go. It doesn't have the back alley with the cool bar, unless that's a tourist spot. It'll just have the basic roads that you need, right? Now, is that an accurate representation of Sydney? Would you say? No. Is it Sydney? So if we look at a really detailed map, and we go into Google and we go into, we get in and we drop that little person that you get in and you go to the live view and you look around, are you in Sydney? You're in a map, right? You're looking at a map of it. Lisa says, depends on the day, the attitude, the people you interact with magic is everywhere. Yeah, I appreciate, I love the imagination with that is beautiful. And so just hold on to that for a moment, because I think in some realm, yes, from a very practical point of view at this, when we go into what we can perceivably call the fact, a map of something is not it itself. It is a representation. And it is a representation, actually. If we cut down that word, it's a representation. It's been presented and now it's being represented as a map. And that's why maps can be totally different. And we can go, cool, the more accurate the map is, but the accurate map doesn't say what the temperature feels like, even if you added that to the map. It doesn't say that Jenny is walking past Sarah right now and they're about to sit down for an almond skim milk latte. That map doesn't have that. It doesn't talk about the smell. It doesn't talk about the texture. You can't feel what it's like to be inside of Sydney simply by experiencing a map, no matter how detailed it is. Each and every single one of us has our own map of reality. Each of us. There is a map that we have constructed. This is our beliefs over our lifetime, right? It's not, in fact, reality in the sense of objective reality. It is our representation of reality. Now, I'm not saying that your whole world's make up and you live in your head and now this is a whole virtual reality. That's a whole different conversation that I'm not necessarily equipped to go into. What I am saying is that, have you ever been misunderstood before in your life, even when you thought you were really clear? Hands up, who's ever been misunderstood? You're like, no, I clearly spelt it out for you. And then they heard something completely different. Everybody's had that kind of experience, haven't you? Yeah, right? That somehow their map of reality looked completely different to your map of reality. It's that whole, I've seen it as an image before and it's just come to my mind now, so I don't have it for you, but it's two people looking at the number 69, right? There's a 6 and a 9. They're looking from different angles. And I'm like, no, it's a 6. And they're like, no, it's a 9. No, it's a 6. It's a 9. It's a 6. It's a 9. It's both, depending on your map of reality. And the reason why this is important for us to understand is our beliefs shape us. What we believe to be true about ourselves is how we're going to experience the world. If we believe that we are not worthy, if we believe that we can't be confident, if we insert any of the limiting beliefs that you're going to do your homework on around, if you believe those things, then that is how you are going to see the world. You are going to see it through that lens. My mum will often say, like, we might be somewhere and something bad will happen. She goes, oh yeah, just our luck. And I will correct her and say, I'm actually really lucky. I don't know about you. Because my belief about myself is that I'm lucky, right? Good things happen to me. I believe that about myself, right? And I didn't always. But I used to believe that yeah, shit luck. Oh, that's me, the Aussie battler, because that's what I was raised to believe. So our map of reality is going to change our experience of it. So when something, quote, unlucky happens to me, it's not because it's my bad luck. To me, the belief around that is that sometimes unfortunate things happen. Hey. Oh, I can hear someone is off mute. I think everybody just go ahead and check your muteness. Kat, I believe it's you, my love, with the dog that just barked. For some reason, I can't mute you, and I do not know why. Oh, no, I don't know, Kat. Some reason I can't mute you. If you could mute yourself, that would be grand. That would be so, so grand. Needless to say, we have a map of reality. And as we have been growing up, as we were raised in our childhood, we made meanings of things. We are meaning-making machines, and we are looking for what everything means. If we go back to when we were a baby, right? We're a baby, we're soft and supple, we're beautiful. We don't have any beliefs at that point in time. We cry, we yell, we scream. We had no problems taking up space and being confident when we were 9 months old. I can guarantee you that. We asked for what we want in no uncertain terms, no people pleasing. I don't give a shit if it's 3 a.m. and you haven't slept in 3 years. I'm going to cry, you're going to wipe my ass. That is what we believed as a baby because we didn't have those beliefs just yet, right? We just did it. But over time, we started to learn social development and we kind of discovered like, oh, there are things, there's you, there's me, there's mum, there's dad, or some kind of combination of caregiver, whatever your reality happens to be. And we are literally explorers placing meaning on everything. Men mean this, dad means this, food means that, this means spoon. Like very practically, finger. Someone says finger to you enough time, when they point here, you learn that these things mean fingers, right? Hands, clap. We start to learn, and we're attaching meaning to everything practically in our life. But what also is happening is we're learning how things are emotionally, what it means to be a girl, what it means to be boy, what it means to be tall, short, fat, what it means to be everything. And we are going about in the world placing meaning on things. And we can relate to this. We know that we can be raised in the same environment and have completely different experiences. Who here has ever had a moment with a sibling, if you have a sibling or someone from your childhood, and you were retelling a story of something that happened to you as a kid? And then they turned around, they were there, and they're like, it didn't happen that way. Not at all. And they totally say to you, no, it didn't happen that way at all. And their experience of it was completely different. It's the story of the twins that had an alcoholic, abusive father growing up. They were separated when they were young, in their teens. And 20 years later, they go back and they ask these teens, the twins, they ask the twins, they say, how did you end up as you are right now? One of the twins was alcoholic and abusive, and the other twin hadn't touched alcohol in his life and was happily married in a healthy relationship. And when the interviewers asked them, how did you end up the way you did? Both of them answered exactly the same. They said, well, what did you expect with a father like mine? They had the same circumstances in their life growing up to a certain point. And the meaning that they placed on those circumstances changed their experience of it. One of them assumed that they would become alcoholic and abusive because of their alcoholic and abusive father. One of them assumed that they absolutely would never do that. Different meanings creates a different reality. If you're able to look at your beliefs and look at where you have placed meaning on things, you're then able to be empowered to do something about it. This is how our map of the world is created. We're literally navigators. We're cartographers. We're going out in the world and we're labeling and placing meaning on everything that we've experienced. How's everybody doing with this so far? I'm aware that we've been cruising for just over an hour, and I'm going to wrap it up soon because I know that there might be some overwhelm. I just want to know, how's everyone doing? Just give me a one word or a couple of words. Just pop it in the chat box. How you doing? Yeah. Susan's loving this. Beautiful. Stacey, good. So wonderful. Love you. Loving it. Great. Post-it notes going crazy. Love it. Good. Proud to be here. Great. Thanks. Good. Awesome. Excited. Beautiful. 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 So effectively, how is this map of reality built? How do we get to this point where we're like, oh, I'm cruising along and nothing's happened, right? I'm a baby. I'm a lump. I don't understand the world. And then we start creating these beliefs about ourselves and the world around us. Well, in the first 7 years, 0 to 7 is known as the imprint period. At that point, we are effectively labeling everything as much as we possibly can. We've all heard that kind of saying that like kids are like sponges. They take everything in. We're absorbing everything in those first 7 years. We're being imprinted by the world. And for the most part, up until probably in the last 10 or 15 years, mostly our imprinting has come from our family, right? It's come from our immediate family, maybe teachers at school. Now more so we're being imprinted by the media. We're being imprinted by social media. We're being printed in a completely different way, which is interesting to see how that rolls out in humanity, because we are taking on the values and beliefs of the world around us. And we do this, what's the word? Without a filter. We do it without a filter. We are literally just taking everything in. And the meaning that we placed on things is going to depend on a bunch of things like our character, but also about the way that our parents place meaning on things. Who here has developed a phobia of something that our parents were also phobic of? Maybe we became racist because of our parents, and then we had to unpack that in 2022 kind of vibe, right? But if, I know that my mum, every single time a mouse was in the house, she would scream and jump up on a chair, and she was petrified. So when a mouse came into the house, what did I do? Jump up on the chair and get petrified, right? It doesn't mean that we are going to exactly imprint that what our parents do, but we're more likely to. Maybe it's the other parent or grandparent or guardian that's around, and they go, "Get out of here, vermin." Kids mimic us all the time. Have you noticed? Even if you don't have kids of your own, you know that they do. So the 0 to 7 imprint period happens. Between the ages of 7 and 14 is modeling. We're literally going out into the world and looking at what people are doing. Cool. Well, my parents, they text in the car, so I'm going to learn to text in the car. My parents yell at each other when it comes to conflict. I'm going to yell at each other when it comes to conflict. My teacher is really loving and kind towards animals. I'm going to be really loving and kind towards animals. We are looking out in the world, creating this map. We have this imprint period that's kind of starting to build who we think we are and place meaning on things. And then we have this modeling period where we're looking outside of us even further to find out what is cool, what is socially acceptable. Yeah. The next stage here is socialization. So this is where literally we're trying on identities. We will go out into the world to, try on things. How does it work? This is more likely to be the rebellious phase. Maybe you're going to be try gothic. Maybe you're going to try rock chick. Maybe you're going to try drugs or sex or church, for that matter. You're going to go out and find your socialization to go see what works. Now, this is based on NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. And I kind of was tempted when I was doing this up. I was like, I really do feel that from 21 to 30, then we're just stumbling our way through it. We're figuring out whether or not it works. We're stumbling our way through it. From 30 to 40, I feel like we're going, okay, cool. I'm kind of maybe getting a handle of this. I'm making a whole bunch of mistakes between 20 or 30. I'm kind of trying to figure it out a little bit more. 40, I haven't yet got there. But from what I can perceive of 40, it's like the ability to care becomes less and less and less. 50 plus, like you set your life on fire. Shit's getting excellent, right? Ideally, right? In this kind of model, and then 60 and above, you're just like, rock on. I don't care. I'm going to do the thing. Now, I know that we have people of all different age groups here. And I'm not saying that at any stage, if you don't feel that way, that you're doing it wrong. I just sense that beyond this socialization model, that there is more. But this is effectively, in these 0 to 21 years, how our identity has been formed and who we think that we are, how our map and our beliefs are actually built. As I said here, 21 to 30, we kind of test, learn, and adapt. Yeah, test, learn, and adapt from there. When you think about this, the vast majority of your beliefs were created before you were 10 years old. Just let that soak in for a second. I missed the R. The vast majority of your beliefs were created before you were 10 years old. Of everybody in the entire freaking world. And if you haven't gone in and done a stock take to see whether or not those beliefs need to go on discount shelves so you can just write them off, if you haven't done that yet, if people in the world, which I know that they haven't around the world, have never done a stock take on their beliefs, and if you haven't done a stock take on your beliefs, they are ruling you. They are literally creating the life for you right now. And it was written, this map of reality was written by no less than a 10-year-old. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm talking the prime ministers, I'm talking the presidents, I'm talking everybody in power who have never sat there and figured out what their limiting beliefs are or what they stand for. Those beliefs were created when they were younger than 10. Scary, huh? But also powerful, because when you do something about it, when you explore these ideas, you're able to be empowered. The unraveling of your beliefs is the most important work you'll ever do. Unchecked, and they will rule your life. They already are. Your beliefs currently, what you believe about yourself, are ruling your life. And I want to remind you that thoughts and beliefs are not fact. They're not fact. You may have collected evidence around, you're like, no, but I know that I'm unworthy because I didn't get that job. I know that I can't have love because my partner dumped me. No, what you are doing is making two things mean something that don't necessarily. It's known as a complex equivalence. You're making the fact that it's raining with your bad mood to mean that it's because of the raining that is your bad mood. It's not. Those two things are separate. and you've connected meaning to them with emotion and you've believed it to be true. It's not. And it's time that we unraveled those limiting beliefs. It's time that we looked more deeply into those beliefs to see what's holding us back. Yeah. And I know that maybe for some of you could feel like a little bit overwhelming right now, like, oh my God, that seems like a big job. Who's kind of feeling like that seems like a big job to unravel everything that I learned from the time I was 7? Yeah, I just want you to know that there are probably likely 5 to 10 limiting beliefs that you have that rule your life the most. I'm even going to go with 3 to 5. There are 3 to 5 beliefs that you have at the core of you. You don't need to unravel absolutely everything that you've always believed about the world. Not quite yet. Right? And this is just the surface. We're in a free challenge together for the next, 5 days. And the work goes a hell of a lot deeper than what we're doing here. In my other programs, Inspire Your Confidence, we go much deeper into your beliefs because we have the time and the space. I want to jam pack as much value as I possibly can and touch in as enough points that are really going to help you get the ball rolling here. And if you decide to go down a path of working with me further, then we will deepen this work. The work that you do here in these 5 days is really going to set you up for success no matter where you go and what you do. Like I've said here, all of your beliefs are made up, so you may as well make up ones that serve you. We know from our map of reality that we've made them up. We've connected dots just so we can try to find some kind of image from the dots that don't necessarily exist. And yeah, look, it's fair to say that if someone beat you as a child and you go, see, therefore I'm unworthy, right? That might be a fairly fair thing to want to think and going, I'm unworthy. Otherwise, my parents wouldn't have rejected me, right? But what if that belief wasn't true? What if they rejected you because maybe that's a fact? Maybe they, kicked you out of home and told you that you were a piece of shit and they didn't love you, right? That could happen. That people have had that experience. I'm not going to deny that reality. For those people, imagine if that, instead of the belief was, that means I'm unworthy, what if the belief was, they do not have the capacity to love? What if the belief was, they cannot access their own emotions and that's why they rejected me? What if it had nothing to do with you? What if it was their own pain that they were projecting out into the world and it wasn't about you? I want you to doubt your doubts. I want you to doubt your limits. I want you to look into your beliefs and just ask yourself the questions. Are they actually true? Really? Would they stand up in a court of law, this belief? And yes, you could bring evidence, but is that evidence circumstantial? Or is that actual hardcore evidence? Even if someone said to you, you're unworthy and you are a piece of shit, is that actual evidence that that is true? No, how can it be? It's someone's opinion. It might be an eyewitness, right? Unless every single person across your entire life, including who you believe your maker to be, has told you that, still within your being, you were a baby once and babies are inherently worthy. You never grew out of it. I really want you to start to doubt your doubts that way. So here with this, for our prompts for tomorrow, what are my limiting beliefs? Yeah. The ones that say I can't, I'm not able to, it's not possible for me. And then maybe circle, I haven't put it here, but then maybe circle your top 3 to 10. Yeah. 3 to 10 of the most predominant beliefs that you think have the most power over you. And then what new empowering beliefs could I have? It doesn't mean that you're going to go straight into them right away, by the way. This isn't about just, I believe I can. I'm not a toxic positivity kind of chick. It's not how I roll. I believe in real, I believe in truth, and you can't just positive think your way out of negative thinking. It doesn't work that way. I'll talk to you about that on Wednesday. But also this last one I put in, what actions come with those new beliefs? If I believe that I'm confident, then I wear those shorts. I believe that I'm confident, then I speak up to myself, for myself, and maybe to myself. If I believe that I'm worthy of love, then I end relationships that don't serve me anymore. The actions change. And by changing the actions, you will embed the new belief. Yeah. I trust that you've all taken a picture of that. I want you to just to start to notice the most common beliefs that you have about yourselves around your narrative. What's in your brain? What is happening? Just observe them. Just watch. Don't necessarily believe them. I don't want you to invest in them at this point in time. Just roll. Yeah. Just roll for a moment. Just observe what you've got there. Let me know in the chat box. How's this all going? I'm going to scroll on up. We are nearly done for this evening. Just in the sense that I, want to check in with how everybody's doing. Yeah, for Dedicated Gypsy, overwhelming. Yes. People are excited. Some people are tired and keen. I totally get that. There's a lot of content here, and I want you to know that in 5 days' time, you can sleep. So helpful, great, different perspective on beliefs, good, you're doing fine. Love it, love it, love it. And the great thing about overwhelm, I want everybody here just to get my reframe on overwhelm, the way that I change our beliefs in terms of overwhelm, right? Know that your conscious mind can only take so much, but your unconscious mind collects everything, like a beer tray, a drip tray underneath. It's all being collected anyway. And the other thing as well, these recordings are here and they're yours for life. So you can come back again and again and again and again and again, as long as you're in the Magnetic Confidence community, you have access to these recordings. So you don't have to take it all in now. Do your thing. Yeah, Sonia says, I don't know why I was so nervous. You're amazing. Thank you. You're welcome. Tomorrow's brain is exploding. Marina says, my brain is a sponge, but I think I need a bigger sponge. I'm hearing you loud and clearly. I said to my assistant this afternoon, I said, I'm going to do my best to give as much value as I possibly can without absolutely overwhelming them. So maybe I haven't done a great job of that this evening. I will test and measure myself for Wednesday, my loves. Yeah, beautiful. I'm loving everything that's coming through here. Yeah, Magella before 10. Yep. I love it. I love it. Thank you. All of this is brilliant. What is your biggest takeaway from today? What I'd love you to do is to go into, maybe not tonight. I know it's 10 to 9. For some of you, it's 10 to 11 if you're in New Zealand. For some of you, it's 5 o'clock in the morning because you're in the States. Thank you all for being here. For you, I want you to write in the Facebook group. Go ahead and say, what are your key takeaways from tonight? Yeah. Go ahead and put your key takeaways. Just maybe 1 to 3 things that are your real aha moments. Look through your notes, circle it. What is your aha moments? Yeah, this is giving you a different point of view. This is great. Bit overwhelming. I'm hearing you loud and clearly. I will pace it differently on Wednesday. I get very excited. Yeah. Janice, yeah, you can start doing this. You didn't even know how to approach this stuff. Yeah, this is good. So much to think about. It's exciting. Yeah, this is beautiful. Negative beliefs, where do I start? I love it. Maddie says, just wanted to mention how much I love your art piece in the back. Artist, I don't know, it was a gift. I can find out for you. I was a gift. She believed she could, so she did. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, Tamara says, feels like gold even if my brain says stop. Just to give you a bit of context, for the last 5 days last week, I did a Tony Robbins event, and we started at 12 midnight because it was in the States. And most days we went through to about 12:30, 1 o'clock. One of the days we went through to 3. And that is a hell of a long day. Just keep taking notes, just keep taking notes, keep showing up, keep like your body moving. If you're tired, drink more water. Yeah, and like Tamara says, getting a new sponge. Yeah. Lisa says, I knew I wanted this magic space. Beautiful. I love it. You're all absolute queens. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Overwhelming is fine. Lots to work on. Very excited, says Meg. Nat says, biggest takeaway, apart from your amazing wisdom, is here, supporting each other, holding each other. Yeah. So what's next, Stacey? So tomorrow, so on day 2 and day 4, which is Tuesday and Thursday, for those of you in Australia, we will have journal prompts. So the journal prompts that I've given you tonight, I will be posting about tomorrow. You get a bit of a head start on those. There'll be journal prompts for you to then share within the group. Share what you discovered by tomorrow night kind of vibe, by Wednesday-ish, and then Wednesday we meet again on Zoom. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which is day 1, 3, and 5, we meet on Zoom. And on the alternate days, the Tuesday and the Thursday, we have journal prompts to deepen into all of that. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I can see all these beautiful things coming through. Melissa says it's 3:30 in the morning here, or 3 to 5. Welcome. Good morning. I know I can change. It's never too late to change limiting beliefs. Definitely not. Just a reminder of your homework to do is to write down your limiting beliefs. What's up on the screen now? Dedicated Gypsy, it's up there right now. Beautiful. Yeah. Lisa says, I've been waiting for your offers from you because you're such a relatable, trustworthy, gorgeous human. Thank you. That's so beautiful. I'm going to be talking a little bit, not overly, just I know that a bunch of you already feel the value of this and know that you're going to want to work with me in some way, shape, or form. And, the next level from this is Inspire Your Confidence, a beautiful 6-week course. But I'll talk more into that over the next couple of days and stuff. And I know that a few of you are already interested, so you can shoot me through a message and let me know and we can have a chat. Yeah, this is beautiful. So pop in your takeaways into the group. It's 5 a.m. in Denver, Colorado. Welcome from there. Lisa, just truthing. I love it. Harry says, thank you, Luna. This has come at a perfect time. Robin, key takeaway, thoughts are not facts. Yes, and neither of your beliefs. And if they're made up, you may as well make up ones that serve you, my sisters. You are not married to your beliefs. They are not solid. In fact, studies absolutely have talked about the neuroplasticity of the brain, which effectively just means that your brain is malleable. Everything that you think is concrete is not. You can bend and mold. It's like plastic. You can plasticine the shit out of your brain so that it thinks differently than the way it does currently now. And you start by knowing what the problem is, which is your limiting beliefs, and finding out what you're going to replace them with. And on Wednesday, I'm going to show you about dealing with your negative thoughts. And on Friday, we're really going to talk about your relationship with yourself and dig into your fear a little bit as well, because that's a super important component of this. Yeah, Melissa, I don't believe everything your mind says. I love it. Love, love, love. Big love to you all. If you have any questions, queries from tonight, what I reckon that we do is pop them into the Facebook group. Pop them in. Hey, I've got a question about this. I've got a question about that. Let's start the conversation going, because not only I'm here to support you, but the whole crew is here to support you. Maybe they have an experience, maybe Marina's got a question and Rachel has the answer to it. Maybe Stacey was listening really, really deeply in one part where Penny wasn't. So we can use the support of this. And what did Luna say about XYZ? And when you teach something back to someone, you learn it even more. So absolutely engage within this group in the next week, because, and beyond actually, because this is where the real juice is and the real power is in this community, in this time to connect. Big love to you all. The recordings will be up by the next day, usually. So it's 9 o'clock now for me, PM. So once I get it all done and up, I will share it into the group. Big love to everybody. Thank you so, so much for being here. Yep, and Dedicated says, I just want to say congratulations to everyone who showed up and stuck through it, even being daunting. Yes, kudos to everybody. Kudos to everybody. Congratulate everybody. I love you all so very, very much. Good night. I will see you in the group tomorrow, and I will see you live again for our Zoom call on Wednesday. Buenas noches, mis amigas. Me encantan.